Hi, welcome to SudiTalks, and today's topic is the art of the loop. I mean, you're wondering now, what is the loop? And the loop is something of you being in a circulate form of being on the same circle that you're finding yourself not changing. That is one of the hardest things actually many people find themselves not doing. You find yourself not progressing, but you feel like you're doing in the work. But again, you keep on forgetting that you're doing actually 1% better than yourself. And that's what changes a lot of form of mind that people keep on forgetting, that your competition is only yourself, not with others. Because when you actually find yourself beating a version of you that you hated or the version that you disliked, you create a form of growth. And now you find yourself realizing that art of loop that you were thinking becomes an art of progress within that you've created. And you see, the art of loop is something that we find ourselves doing mostly when you find yourself in a circle that is not within what you want to achieve. Sometimes you find yourself, that can be varying both in a positive point of view or a negative point of view. Let me give an example. You may want to change a habit of yours, and you find yourself that you're doing it continuously, but you're not doing anything about it, but your mind knows that you're in a loop of it. But then there's another different perspective of you when you are doing something that you want to do, and you find yourself, you've created now a routine, but you feel like it's a loop, nothing much is changing. But then you find yourself that now you're growing. Now those are two different loops now. The loop, and it's only you that knows which loop you're within. That can only be changed based on who you want to achieve, as I keep on talking about growth and all that. So if you're in the form of the positivity thing, I mean, everyone has a habit that they want to change, but it all varies accordingly how you want to do it, because you never know. You can show the world this and that. Depends, either you've been exposed or you're going to be exposed. So it varies basing off that, but you can only change that if you've defeated the loop that you were always in every single time. And if you're always in a loop that was bad, you've created a form of frequency that is basing off that. But if you find yourself in a loop that is being positivity, or a form of loop that is varying off what you want to do, and change that growth or whatever you're trying to achieve, or that business you're trying to achieve, trust me, that loop will be changed to, instead of a loop, is to become a form of growth over time. And a lot of things people keep on forgetting is that we keep on manifesting or wanting to do something, and the difference between someone manifesting and then someone doing it is that you get yourself to find yourself doing things repetitively, sometimes with no progress, and that creates now you to keep on thinking that you've created a loop that is not progressive. Or also, this can also vary again different other things. This can vary again also the form of environment you're in. You find yourself that you're in a form of environment that is always making you do a loop. Wake up in the morning, go back. Wake up in the morning, go back. And you're just not finding yourself progressing, however much you try. So you find yourself, the only way to do that is a form of practically a game plan, right? Which I've been in that. I found myself one time wanted to change a loop, and I felt like I was always doing everything I wanted to do, but it was not progressing to how I wanted, because I felt like I was in someone else's world. And also, that is also another big problem. I think that I'll talk about in another video. But when you're mostly again also on someone else's world, you find yourself in a loop of theirs that is also difficult to jump out. And most of the time, to find yourself to do that, you have to, like, as I read in the 48 laws of power, you learn from your master, and you need to learn how to play that game now of life, to defeat yourself outside that loop, to jump out and escape that loop that you are in, to bring in that form of frequency that you want. Because as I say, and I'll continue saying it, you bring the form of frequency to yourself that you have attracted basing off what your mind is varying on. Yeah, see you on the next one. Sudi.